first time this basketball season, we welcome Brian Gosset back to the show. Brian covers it all for GM Sports Media. We're thankful to have him back on the program. First, Brian, how have you managed the cold lately?
I'm doing all right. You know, I'm a Hawaii born and raised, so this temperatures in the 20s and teens doesn't really cut it for this Hawaii boy, but I'm managing.
Thankfully, everything's inside. All right, let's start on the girls' side firstly. LD Bell has been pretty spectacular. 27-1 in the season now, passed some tough tests recently, but an emphatic win most recently over Trinity. What's impressed you most about their season so far?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Anthony Bloodworth, you know, he kind of strives on defense. They're only allowing 33 points per game. They're 9-0 in District 3-6A. As of this past week, they're ranked number 11 in the state at 6A, so I could see a possible top 10 here on Monday. 16 straight wins. You know, this is a team that doesn't really have a true number one. They have multiple weapons. Different leading scorer could be at every night. You know, it just doesn't matter who's going to lead the team. They can shoot on the perimeter. They have size in the paint with Maddie Capers and Gracie Oma. They've been to the regional tournament before, and at this rate, the way they're playing, I can see them going back to the regional tournament in Fort Worth here in a couple of months.
I know we spend a lot of time on the UIL side of the ledger, but we've got some great teams in TAPS too. Looking at Lake Country specifically, 23-2 overall. What have you seen from them lately?
Yeah, another team that's just kind of answered the call, took a step back, suffered a loss on Saturday, but before that, last Tuesday, beat number 2 Grace Pratt pretty handily, 66-38. They had a big post player, Erica Hancock, 31 points and 14 rebounds. I mean, they've played some really tough opponents, and they come out on top. You know, overall, they're 23-3 on the season. Last week, number 1 in TAPS 4A. They're a team that knows how to go deep in the playoffs, and, you know, if they can kind of bounce back from Saturday's loss and play the way they played last Tuesday, this is a team that can go far again.
On the boys' side, Waxahachie pulling themselves into contention this late in the season. 8 straight wins, 7-0 in district, including a pretty stunning win over Lake Ridge on the road on Wednesday. How about those Indians this year?
Yeah, I got to watch that game on Wednesday. Just crazy atmosphere, and looked like Lake Ridge was going to pull it out. You know, up 20 in the second quarter, up 16 at halftime, and something turned on in the second half for Waxahachie. Actually was up 13 in the fourth quarter, so that kind of gives you an idea how big that swing was. I can see them cracking in the top 15 this week on Monday. They're number 5 in our rankings, and they have 2 of the top 25s in the entire country, and guard King Grace and center Parker Jefferson. I mean, they're 2 top 15 players in their class in the country. King Grace is second best junior in Texas. So obviously they give Waxahachie a very dynamic 1-2 punch and maybe one of the best duels in the country.
You mentioned you were at that game. I was at Dallas Carter's game against Lincoln on Friday, so I want to take a moment to shout out the Cowboys here. They put on a show on the road. 8 straight wins now for them. Definitely a team to watch for in 4A, especially with the 2 towers they got down below. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch Carter yet, but looking at that schedule, doesn't surprise me how well they are and where they're ranked. Number 4 in the state in 4A, 20-5 on the season. But, you know, this is a team that hasn't played a 4A school prior to district play. They always like to play up, and that helps. And this is a team, you know, one of the top teams in the Metroplex for 9-10 years now. I mean, they've gone to the regional tournament every year since 2020, trying to get over that hump. I mean, always been Oak Cliff Faith family the last 3 years in the regional final. Let's see if Carter can kind of get over that hump and go back to state for the first time since 2018.
Brian, again, thank you so much for your time on this Sunday. We'll let you have the final word with some shout-outs of your own.
And went to that Waxahachie Lake Ridge game. The girls' game was just as good. Lake Ridge freshman guard Jasmine Bailey, she hit 3 buzzer beaters, including the one at end of regulation and the one in overtime to help the Eagles beat the Indians. She finished with 32 points. And then Grand Prairie boys beating Haltom in overtime. Balric Halliburton with the buzzer beater. And look out for that second half of district play in 8-6A boys basketball. Now you have GP, SGP, and Haltom all tied in first place at 6-1.
Don't go anywhere when we come back.